to talk about. Okay, and then that's it, right? Very, very short. Thank you for coming on. Let me just share. Okay, sorry, wrong pane here. Okay, can you all see the picture? Okay, can see, okay, so this is the context of what we're going to talk about today, okay? We're going to look at this picture, and I'm going to use this picture to show you how perspective taking can expand, right? Your responses so that you go beyond just your one minute or just 1 minute plus response. You can go a little bit longer. And I'll be inviting you all to contribute as well. So if you happen to have something you want to add that you feel I'm leaving out, right, please go ahead, okay? But take the next few minutes while we're waiting for the others to stream in to just observe the picture, right? Try to remember some of the guiding questions that I put in the package for the first part of the package, which was to think about the main idea of the picture, right? Think about the various elements that make the picture what it is, right? Think about the different characters in the picture, what their perspectives are. Look at the details that the composer has put into this picture, right? Try not to miss anything, okay? And then a very powerful perspective-taking tool is to insert yourself in the picture. So if you are the boy, or if you are in this supermarket, right? How would you feel as you look at all the things in front of you, right? That will be a very, very powerful tool to use indeed, okay? So put yourselves in the shoes of one of the characters in the picture and then try to take their perspective, okay? So the question is, how do you think the people in the photograph might be feeling? Okay, so the question seems to narrow and restrict you to talking about the feelings of the people. But should you be restricted by this question? Should you only talk about the feelings? Right? By the way I'm phrasing it, you know the answer should be no, right? Okay, so these kinds of questions are actually trick questions, because if you simply answer the question that is stated, you will not have very much to talk about. Am I right? Okay, very little to talk about, You're just talking about how the boy feels, how his mother feels, or how his auntie feels. That's it. You're done. Okay, and that's not very conducive for a well-developed oral response. What you need to be doing is using your trees in order to introduce other parts of this picture into the conversation in a meaningful manner. And then I'm going to show you how, okay? And then I will take some of your responses and questions along the way, okay? Yeah. Let's give 1 or 2 more minutes, okay, for the rest to stream in while you all look at the picture, okay? Try to notice anything outstanding, right? Or anything that is consistent, meaning there's a pattern, right? Perhaps in the way that the mother and the son are looking, perhaps in the way that the things are organized on the shelves, perhaps in the way that the colors of the things are arranged, okay? And perhaps in the way that the whole picture is focused on this particular scene, right? How is it focused on this particular scene? Those are some questions you can ask yourself, okay, as you prepare to respond to this question. Okay? 1 or 2 more minutes. Think about it. Okay? And then as you're doing this, I'm not going to insult your memory by asking you to tell me what are trees. So I'm just going to write there, thoughts, reasons, experiences, examples, and suggestions, okay? Right, so that will be our keystone. Try to think of it in terms of all of these 5 dimensions, okay? So what do I think about the picture? Okay, just as a bonus, can anyone remember where perspective can come in these 5 points here? I mentioned it, I asked you to write it in your handbook, right? Can anyone remember what are the 2 areas in which perspective can appear in trees? Kayla? Maybe give me one area first. Thoughts, okay, good. Okay, at the beginning, I can think from the perspective of the mother. Okay, I can also think on the perspective of the son. I can even think on the perspective of the workers in the supermarket, right? Okay, even though they are not present in this picture, they are invisible but in the background. Okay, so there are many other characters that don't appear in the picture which I can actually reference in my perspectives. Okay, Reagan, What else? Where else can I apply perspective taking?
Suggestions.
Okay, very good. Suggestions, okay. So this is also like what suggestions can I make to improve the experience, both from the perspective of the mother and the son and the employees of this particular supermarket? Those might be different perspectives I can take. Now, I will not put perspectives in any other section because all the other sections are yours. They have to do with you, right? What are your reasons? What are your experiences? What examples have you heard of? Okay, so try to keep those personal. That means related to what you think. Okay, the only time you bring in different perspectives is in the thoughts and suggestions beginning and end of your response. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate that, and then we are going to go into a little bit more about this particular technique, okay, of perspective taking. So now let's look at T, thoughts first. Okay, we are looking at this particular picture, right? This is a scene in a supermarket. The question is, how do you think the people in the photograph might be feeling? Now, as a prelude, okay, so before I even talk about the answer to the question, prelude, okay, you always talk about your observation, okay? Right? So before you talk about, I think that the people might be feeling, right? You want to reference the background and the context, okay? So the context of the picture, the background of the picture, okay, and any important observation. Salience just means important now, okay? Not just random, but very important observations. So general observations of this picture. Okay, so what observations can we make? Don't worry, you can just snap out the answers. I will rearrange your ideas into a coherent form, okay? Then I will send this to all of you as a reference material for all of you to base your answers on. But can anyone just snap out a few observations about this picture before we answer the feelings of the characters? Anyone? What jumps out at you about this picture? Anybody? It's okay, no wrong answers, okay? Just try your best, okay? Really? No volunteers? Then do you think I should just record this as a video so that you all can watch it? Otherwise, the participation levels are a little bit lower. Can you try to say something? Dylan, yeah?
It looks like they're in like the dairy section.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, the dairy section. Okay, that's an important and specific, okay, observation. And I like because it is very specific. Okay, it's not just any part of the supermarket, but the dairy section. What gives you the idea, Dylan? That is the dairy section.
Like there's like milk and yogurt.
Milk, yogurt, cheese, butter, right? Okay, you can yogurt. Okay, yeah, you can make those observations and always tag it to details, right? So you might start out by saying, right, I can observe, right, that this is a scene in the dairy section of a supermarket, and I can see that there are many selections of milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt, and I think that the characters in this picture might be shopping for dairy products, right? As can be seen by the mother holding a bottle of milk in her hands and looking on with interest, okay? Now, I can start to, after the observations, so I can talk about how this leads, right? It links to their purpose, okay, for shopping in this section of the supermarket. Now, there are endless possibilities here. Now, why would you be shopping in the dairy section of a supermarket? Right? Anybody? Right? Why would you be buying milk and butter and cheese and all of this? What might you be doing? Just speculate, right? Yes, Dylan, go ahead.
To like bake something.
Possibly, right? Or you can speculate, right? That they might be baking, right? They might be, I don't know, making some, some kind of tart or, cheesecake or maybe even a birthday cake. Okay, maybe we are shopping for ingredients to make a birthday cake, right? For the birthday boy, Eden, right? Whatever. Okay, whatever, right? So you can actually bring in very specific details and observations. Now, this then leads us to the actual answer of the question. what I think the people in the photograph might be feeling. So there are two people in the photograph, right? I can come up with two different feelings, right? I think, okay, so this is where I use the word I think, right? That the lady in the photograph, okay, let me try to dictate, who is probably the mother of the boy next to her, right? I'm just trying to use the dictation function, is probably feeling quite pleased with the fact that she has found the precise brand or type of milk that she is looking for. Okay? Do you all agree with me? That could be one reason, right? Why she's looking very pleased, right? I observe that she has a wide smile on her face and she looks very intent and very pleased with what she has found in her hand. Okay, so always link what you feel with what you observe in the detail, right? Is there any other possibility for why she might be feeling pleased besides the fact that she found what she was looking for? Anybody? Why else do you think she's feeling pleased? Yes, Dylan, you're on a roll today. Now, wait, let's give Arthur a chance. Arthur, go ahead.
The boy might have requested that type of milk.
Okay, very good, right? So it's the demand, it's what the boy requested, right? Okay. Arthur, are you able to turn on your camera, by the way? Okay, so it could be something that, right? Very good. So I could add that in, okay? This could be something which her son has requested, and that adds to her pleasure and joy at finding it. That could be very much the reason, okay? Excellent. So that's just what I observe, right? Okay. Next, okay. I think that the boy next to her probably also shares her joy, okay? Kaylan, is there something wrong with your camera? Right, can you please stop doing that because it's a bit distracting? Thank you very much. Okay, now, so I think the boy next to her probably shares her joy. Can you all tell me what does the boy feel? I mean, if he shares her joy, right, he's also feeling happy, right? Okay, but does he have the same reasons for that? Can anyone unmute yourself or suggest why the boy might be feeling happy? Not the same reason as the mother, right? Mother is happy because she's found what she's looking for, because she's found what her son wants. Why is son feeling happy? Can I just call someone?
Because
okay,
the mother
Anand,
is
go.
happy.
Station 987.
Kayla?
Because the mother is happy.
No, let's not do circular logic, okay? Mother is happy because son is happy because mother is happy, circular. All right, let's not do that, okay? Let's go into something a little bit more productive than circular logic. And Anand?
Maybe the boy is happy because his mother accepted his request of buying that brand of the milk or the
Okay,
ingredient.
maybe his suggestion has been
Approved.
accepted by maybe his mother is like giving in to his request to purchase more milk. He's probably maybe the one that motivated the mother to come to buy the milk in the first place. Okay, right? So he's probably feeling pleased that his mother is listening to his request for more milk. It might also be that he's looking forward to what his mother is going to make with all the dairy products that they are purchasing from this section. Is that possible, right? Okay, so it is possible that he's looking forward to the cakes or the cheesecakes or the tarts or the delicious treats that his mother is going to be able to make with all these ingredients that she is purchasing. Okay, so over here, I'm going to put this under reasons, okay, because this actually is reasons. But you notice that thoughts and reasons come very closely together, okay? But I'm just going to categorize it such that y'all can see that this actually fits in under reasons, right? Okay, so this comes under reasons. Okay, so my thoughts and my reasons are taken care of. Now let me go into my experiences. What kind of experience can I share in this case that would actually help me to link to this particular question better? Do you think I would share about my own personal experiences of going to a supermarket? Do you think that that might work? Yeah, generally, right? I think that's the safest solution. I will link it to something that I myself have experienced. Okay, so I might want to go into something like I remember. Okay, hold on. Let's apologize. Let me just change the format of this. Okay, so thoughts and reasons. Setting this, and then I will take away reasons here, and I'll go into experiences. So my experiences might be something related to a trip to the supermarket. Okay, so I remember a similar trip that I made with my mother just last week to Cold Storage Supermarket, which is our favorite outlet of supermarkets because it contains a large range of dairy products as well as snacks and biscuits that we enjoy browsing and purchasing. Okay? I also felt a great deal of joy and happiness when my mother gave in to my request to stock up on jelly beans, which are my favorite kind of snack because they are colorful and each jelly bean has a different flavor. Okay, so what's happening here? I'm giving you specific details of my likes and dislikes, and I'm linking it to the boy and the woman in the picture, right? So the boy and the woman, they are buying something that they like, whether it's the boy or the woman or his mother. And in my case, I am prevailing or asking for the same thing for my mother. And because my mother gives in to me, I feel the same kind of joy. So this is something that is aligned to the experience of the picture. Now, let's take a different angle. Could I respond in a way that is opposite to the picture, right? Could I be unhappy? Could I be upset at a trip to the supermarket? Can or not? Yes? Have you all had occasions, especially when you were younger children, when you went out with your parents and your parents refused to buy what you wanted? Have or not? Yeah, I don't think, I think most of you have experienced that situation where you have asked for something and not received it, right? Okay, so that could be something that you add on the other hand. Okay, so this is the on the other hand, right? On the other hand, okay, let me just record this. There have been many occasions where I have gone out on shopping trips with my parents, seen a lovely toy or a delicious snack, and been told that I could not have it because it was not the right time or place for me to purchase it. Okay? That probably explains why I have mixed feelings about going on shopping trips with my parents, right? Okay, so some days I get what I want, some days I don't get what I want, right? And that probably explains why I have mixed feelings. So do y'all see I'm using on the other hand in my experiences section to bring a different angle because both angles are equally valid. On one hand, I enjoy my trip because there are times when my parents give in to my requests and I get what I want. On the other hand, there have been moments when my parents have refused my request because it's not been the right time or place. You can go into more detail about why they refuse, right? And what is your reaction, right? You might want to talk about how you threw a tantrum, right? How you made a scene, right? How you, collapsed on the ground in tears and how you embarrassed your parents in public or whatever. Okay, that could be something you could go into to bring a bit more drama and humor into your response. Okay, if you can make it funny, right? You can dramatize what you did maybe when you were 4 years old, right? You went with your parents to NTUC, and then you saw a bar of candy and you really wanted it, and then you hugged it, and when you refused to let go of it, your parents scolded you, and then you dissolved into tears and collapsed on the floor and rolled around, right, in public in NTUC. Then all the other adults around you were staring at you and pointing at you, right? That could be an experience that you can share. Okay, so positive or negative, you can bring it about either by using I remember or on the other hand. Okay, all good so far, everybody? Clear? Okay, the important thing is I'm giving you suggestions and ideas on how you can expand your content so that it doesn't get stuck in the 1 minute bar. The moment you go into on the other hand, right, your response is going to be at least 2 minutes already. Okay, you're going to go into 2 to 3 minutes already, and that's good enough for me. Okay, so once you multiply, you can either use perspective or you can use on the other hand in experiences. Okay, examples are enough now. Okay, you all should know what examples are. Okay, what are some examples of trips with your parents besides supermarket? Besides going to the supermarket, where else do you all go with your parents or with your family members? Can anyone suggest 1 or 2 places besides a supermarket? Yes, Reagan, go ahead.
IKEA.
Okay, very good, right? We go to IKEA. And IKEA is, what is IKEA? Can you explain to the people in case they don't know what IKEA is?
A furniture store?
Yep, it's a furniture store. Very good. Okay. You go as a family to browse, to walk, to just enjoy the air conditioning in IKEA. Yes, good, very good. Where else do y'all go besides IKEA, besides supermarkets? What is a popular place for people as a family to go? Arthur?
Hawker centers and food courts.
Okay, hawker centers. Okay, hawker centers or food centers. Okay, hawker centers. Maybe to look for dinner. Right? You're all going together to have dinner as a family. That's good. Helen?
Like malls, the Hougang
shopping
Mall.
mall. Yeah. So be specific. Okay. Can you give me a very popular shopping mall that's big enough for everybody to go and visit near to where we are?
Next.
Okay, very good. So let's say Next. Okay, Next shopping mall. Okay, that's a popular destination for families to go to. Dylan, did you want to add something, or is it something similar? Similar, is it? Okay, all right. Okay, so these are some examples. Now, these are examples of what other people, right, would probably find enjoyable to go. Because remember, we are talking about how their expressions on the face of mother and son are very happy, right? They enjoy this visit to the supermarket, right? So your example must also be about places where people enjoy going together. Please don't say places that people don't enjoy, right? Because we are relating examples to what we have answered earlier about how they enjoy themselves at the supermarket. So talk about your friend's experience in IKEA, or talk about, your family's visit to Next shopping mall and what you did there. Okay, so this is another example outside of the supermarket that you can bring in. It can even be about yourself or about your family, but just a different place. Okay, so examples don't need to be about other people, right? I taught you all that examples are usually about, what you see, what you hear, what you watch, what you read, right? But it could also be another experience you have had that is not the same as the one that's portrayed in the picture, but related to it. In this case, the relationship is spending time together as a family, right? Mother and son, or father and mother and son, or daughter, and so on and so forth. Okay, so try to link it to other examples, and these examples can be another experience, right? You can narrate another experience, and this adds another 2 or 3 minutes to your response. So you can really build up your response quite significantly if you use every one of these letters. Try not to leave anything out. Okay, so far everybody clear? Okay, so now I move on to the last part, which is how I insert perspectives into the suggestion part, okay, which is, I think, the part that all of you need to work harder in, because you're all very good at your thoughts, your reasons, your experiences, and even your examples. But many of you struggle to come up with logical and relevant suggestions. Okay, first of all, can anyone tell me what is a suggestion before we carry on to talk about what is a way to expand it? What's a suggestion? Can anyone, in your own words, very quickly just summarize for us what is a suggestion? Anyone? Quickly. Hello? Anyone? Not the usual suspects, please. Someone else. Okay, Aiden, yep. What's the suggestion?
I like recommendation.
A recommendation, okay. A suggestion could be a recommendation, yes. A recommendation is what you think might be a better idea than the one that's being presented, right? Okay, so by its nature, it has the idea of an improvement on an existing state of how things are, right? You improve on something. You recommend an improvement, right? You recommend a change that brings about something better, okay? It could also be a prediction, right, of what is going to happen in the future. Okay, you can suggest about what's going to happen after this particular picture or after this particular action that you are seeing in the picture. Okay, so all of these things fall under the category of recommendation, suggestion, improvement, prediction. Okay, so if you look at this picture, let's look at this picture. What kind of suggestions do you think might arise from such a picture? Okay, remember the picture is about mother and son shopping in a supermarket. There's a wide range of different products. They are very happy. They have just bought something that they are looking for. Okay, so how can I improve on this? They are already happy, you know. How can I make things better for them? Okay, so perspective of the mother, how can things be better? Perspective of the son, how can things be better? And maybe even perspective of the employees of the store, how can things be better? How can things be further improved? Anyone? I show you the picture. Okay, you all are a bit tired, is it? Is it a bit late? You all don't know what to think? You're okay? All right, come. Sorry, will you go ahead?
You got CDC voucher.
Okay, yeah, why not? Yeah, okay. Maybe you might want to use some government vouchers. Please, whenever you're using words like CDC, you must remember that you have to pretend that the examiner doesn't know what they mean, right? So you have to spell it out, all right? I'm not entirely sure you know what CDC stands for, right? Okay, so do you know what CDC stands for, will you, by any chance? No, right? Yeah. To be honest, neither do I. So I would not use CDC. I would use something like government vouchers. Okay. Yeah. So I might want to use government vouchers to subsidize my shopping, right? So I pay less money. Okay. Y'all know what subsidize, right? Okay. Government gives you a voucher. You use the voucher in place of cash, and you get to pay for something with much less money than you would if you had just taken it out of your pocket. Okay. So yeah, that might be a good idea, right? You're onto something there, right? So I want to use government vouchers to subsidize my shopping. Okay, I might suggest doing that so that I end up paying less for my groceries, or the mother and the daughter and the son might end up paying less for the groceries. Yeah, good. Why not? Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Use government vouchers, okay, when shopping at grocery stores. Accepted. Anybody else? What else might be improved? What else might give them a better experience? Right. So you all have to think, when you look at this picture, right? How can this picture become even better? What would be even more convenient than shopping at a store with such a good selection? Some of you are lights coming on already. Kayla, go ahead.
Online shopping.
Yeah, right. Might you want to order some of your groceries online instead of going down to the store, right? Perhaps you will save some money and time on traveling expenses as well as on time taken on the road, right? Perhaps they might want to visit the website, all right, in order to make these purchases, to make it even more convenient and quick for them to secure their purchases, right? Very good. Can you all see? Suggestion, it can be going to many different things. Helen, yeah.
Like buy one, get one free.
Yes, okay, very good. Take advantage of offers. Excellent, right? Have you all seen these kinds of offers on newspapers before? Or even, in the billboard or the posters outside the supermarkets, right? Very often you see, right? Buy one, get one free, right? Special discount on buying this particular cauliflower or vegetable, right? Taking advantage of these offers can save you a bundle of money. So maybe buying a brand of butter or milk that allows you to take advantage of these special one-for-one offers or bundles, right? Or discounts, right? These are words I want to hear. Discounts, bundles, right? Special offers, right? These are important words that can be introduced to suggest how this mother and son can save money, okay? And online shopping can save time, okay? So what else can be saved, right? What else can add to their experience? How can this be more fun, okay? What can be added to make this experience even more fun? So we already talked about saving time. We already talked about saving money. Now let's talk about how can this experience be enhanced in terms of enjoyment. Okay, last point. Anyone? How can I make this experience more fun? What happens when you purchase things? What can be added to the purchasing experience that can make the experience more enjoyable or more thrilling or more exciting? Anyone? Surely you know this. I'm sure you participated in it before. Yes? Anyone? No? Can I just see a show of hands? How many of you go grocery shopping with your parents? Or your parents go without you, leave you at home? Okay, you go, right? Yeah. Okay, very good. Don't you all observe this at the cashier, right? Have you ever observed this game-like experience? Anyone? Do you know what I'm talking about? You all don't know what I'm talking about? Kayla?
Using the thing to scan the barcode.
No, that's not fun. How's that fun?
It is.
No.
It is.
Okay, fine. Right. If you think it's fun, that's okay. To each his own. Lucas, I'm hoping for a more concrete answer.
Lucky draw.
Okay, right. Yeah, exactly. Competitions, lucky draws, redemptions, right? Okay, have you ever had that? Sometimes you get to scratch a card, right? And then you see whether when you scratch the card, you get a special symbol and then you win a particular prize. Have you had that before? I don't know. I think that sometimes even bubble teas run those promotions, right? Okay, you're like, there's some special lucky draw or prize, or you spin a wheel. Have you ever spun a wheel before? I don't know how many of you have. Like some sushi restaurants or some Cold Storage used to have that. You spin the wheel, and then when the wheel lands on a particular segment, right, you get that as a free gift. Okay, so there's a sense of thrill and excitement because your purchase, right, entitles you to a lucky draw or to a lucky spin or to participation in a particular kind of competition that enhances the experience or the fun of it. So you can talk about that. Okay, so you can suggest right, that there be a lucky draw or some kind of competition, right, attached to it, so that you can enhance the experience of these shoppers. Then you can talk about how you might want to consider shopping online because that might be more convenient. It will save you queuing up, time, waiting in line, taking the public transport, and also carrying your heavy groceries all the way home. Then you might also want to suggest how you might save more money by taking advantage of special discounts, one-for-one offers and all of that. All those things are suggestions taken from different perspectives. From the perspective of the shop, lucky draw; from the perspective of the mother, taking advantage of special discounts; from the perspective of the son, right, doing online shopping so that they don't have to run all the way down to the store and they can save time and effort and money. Do you all understand, everybody? Can you all see that suggestions can be much bigger than just giving one line? Okay, so when you expand on all these sections, the thoughts, right, by giving different perspectives, and the suggestions by giving different perspectives, and the experiences by giving, on the other hand, you have already got at least a 5 to 10 minute response, and that's good enough. Okay, for your first question. As long as your first question exceeds 5 minutes, I would say that is safely going to be quite a well-developed response. Okay, but of course, follow the tree's structure. Ken, do you understand? Do you have any questions about how you give different perspectives at the thought area or at the suggestions area? No? Do you understand how to use, on the other hand, for experiences? Okay, positive and negative, right? Positive experience, negative experience, right? On the other hand, okay. So I've given you 3 sections to expand on. When you go into your SLS and you finish working on your oral responses, especially for question 1, please try to work on the T, the E, and the S, okay? Those 3 sections in particular for question 1 of the online learning oral response, please try to develop your responses using those techniques that I've just taught you. Do you all have any problems doing that? Okay, a good guideline is your recorded response, when you record it, should last for more than 2 minutes. I give you a very low threshold, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. The moment you exceed 2 minutes, I would say that it's okay, right? I'm not even asking for 5 minutes now, just 2 minutes for the first question, question 1. Okay, then if your other questions, question 2 and 3, later on we do it, you can add on to it, it will exceed 5 minutes. Okay, but just for question 1, try to make sure that your response follows with 2 minutes and above. Okay, any questions? If not, then that's all I have for you today. I didn't want to make today's session very long, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, okay? I will send this response so that you can use it as a template for responding to your question 1 of the picture in online learning on SLS. And I will also send the recording to you all in case you feel like you've missed something, okay? But I will demonstrate. I have demonstrated to you and I will provide you with the model answer, okay? Refer to this when you do your oral. Don't forget to do your other homework as well, okay? Thank you very much. That's all. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Pang.
Bye-bye. Thank
No
you.
problem. My pleasure. Happy birthday, Eden. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Mr. Pang.
Bye, people.
Bye, everyone. See you.